The spring of 2012, I used the Milepost travel book to plan our summer travels in Canada and Alaska. The Sourdough Campground and RV Park at Tok featured sourdough pancakes and reindeer sausage breakfast, plus an evening pancake tosses. This was a must-visit on our itinerary, as we had to pass through Tok either coming or going. Going up, we were on a tighter schedule, as we wanted to be on the Arctic Circle on June 21st. On our way home, after seeing most of Alaska, we stopped at Sourdough. They had a sign advertising for camp help, and so we volunteered for 2013. As we had seen many campgrounds on our trip, and this was our first choice to spend a summer. So on June 1st, 2014, we returned, ready to work as camp host. Blake and Krista were the cooks. Blake was Ann's son. They are serving out of the snack area a reindeer chili in a big sourdough bowl, and it is out of this world. Blake made pancakes for the evening toss after breakfast. At 7 o'clock every night, the pancake toss was held in the pavilion by Dave Owen, and his wife stayed in the office to register guests and babysit the grandchildren. Unfortunately, I missed getting a picture of Ann that summer. Everyone is invited, and each had 2 attempts to toss a pancake into a bucket on the stage from behind a bench. If successful, then you got a free sourdough pancake, reindeer sausage breakfast the next morning. One could shape the pancake in any form wanted before throwing. Leaners on the bucket edge did not count. The younger players were the first and received special privileges, as Dave often made up new rules as the evening progressed. There were many laughs as people did some wild pitches, and everyone had a good time. After the pancake toss, I did my rendition of The Cremation of Sam McGee, a Yukon poem by Robert Service. And then we headed for the campfire to roast marshmallows and swap stories. Ann asked the campers for any special talents when they checked in, and often we would have special music or events after Sam McGee. It always amazed me, the happy, cheerful talent that came out when the guitars and fiddles or keyboards got tuned up for a jam session. There were several other groups that entertained us. July 4th was a big event by decorating up Dave's antique international truck and all of us riding in the back in the Tok parade down Highway 1 and throwing candy to the younger ones on the sidelines. This was not a very long parade, but celebrated by this small American town of 1,500 people. Later that evening, Ann and Dave treated everyone to a salmon dinner prepared by Blake and Krista in the pavilion. Let me tell you, Alaskans know how to prepare salmon for eating. It came time for the cooks to take a short break, and so Blake and Krista took a few days to float a river. Packing all that stuff down to the river was a bit of a job, but they enjoyed the trip. Shortly after we arrived, I tried straightening out the 2 main entrance signs, but found the bases were routed out and the signs came tumbling down. I have made signs in the past, and so my next job was to rebuild the signs, paint, letter, and mount both of them in a new surveyed location closer to the highway in the required Alaska right-of-way for signs. This was a rocky river bottom, so we had to get a backhoe to dig the holes and set the big post. Another couple from Louisiana assisted, and we took turns at different jobs. There were the restrooms and laundry to clean. garbage from around the camp to pick up, and firewood to cut for the campfire. The spaces between the RV sites are big and densely forested, as in all of southern Alaska. These trees sometimes die and had to be taken out. Other duties is assigned, but I liked running a chainsaw. I enjoy making signs, and the sign business continued with 3 more signs made for different locations. The highway made me take down the sign at the sawmill, even though I had permission from the saw owner. In Alaska, you can only have business signs on your property. You will not see any signboards along Alaska's highway. The campground has a large area they wanted to mow, but there were too many rocks, so Bev picked up the rocks and put in small piles. Then we picked them up in the 4x4 wheeler and put them along the wash in the centers. Painting outdoor tables is a never-ending project in a campground. We would turn the table upside down, painting all we could see, then turn the table over and paint all we could see. I was able to trade some firewood from the sawmill operator in exchange for some sign painting. This huge saw blade needed to be repainted, and he wanted to promote his specialty of logs to build houses. It may seem like a lot of work, but remember, we had an active daylight of 24 hours a day, and when I couldn't sleep, I could go out and paint signs. Dave and Ann were fantastic people and fun to work for. We met many wonderful people and had a ball for 2 months. Camp host is something I would recommend if you haven't done this before. As the season tapered off and most of the work was done for this year, we took off to visit Valdez and possibly Klamath and Ninilchik before returning to the lower 48.